So I've been looking to add a Seviana or an older model Navaja to my collection for quite a while. And the Spanish makers, Spanish design knife, the Spanish manufacturers pretty much stopped listing them because they weren't popular. Nobody wanted these old designs. They're doing the same designs that everybody's doing at this point. Um, and the older models that were here in the States were uh, very collectible and getting stupid expensive. And I kicked myself. I missed out on uh, buying some years back, and I should have just bit the bullet and grabbed it back then. But who knew? But anyway, so one of the traditional Spanish manufacturers is Joker, and it's spelled Joker. It was, I believe, the company was founded by a German, even though it's in Spain, so it would be pronounced Joker. But if it's in Spanish, it would be Hoker. So anyway, but Joker knife. Now, this is the design I was looking for. I wanted something a little bit bigger, maybe with like a 5 or 6 inch blade even. Uh, like I said, I was adding it to my collection of essentially fighting knives. Uh, but this turned up on Amazon, and it's a traditional one of the old manufacturers, so I thought it might be decent quality. Let's see, Seviana. It is made in Spain, uh, and it is a lockback. Now, this does not have the ratcheting lock that would be traditional on this sort of design. Uh, so I'm missing out on that, but it's a good form. It's got rosewood or pack of wood handles and everything, scales. So it's a nice looking little knife, and I like having the pattern in my collection. But I'm sorely disappointed in it. The locking mechanism, everything on it is just rough and stiff. The fitting is mediocre at best. It's smaller than I would have liked, but it's the biggest one they offer right now. Um, as I said, it doesn't have the traditional ratcheting mechanism in it, which was one of the things I was looking for. But it wasn't terribly expensive, so added to the collection, and at least I have sort of an example of this pattern. But this lifts up to release the lock, and the bigger ones would have like a ring on it. So you just lift that up, releases the lock, and it locks halfway, and then that goes back down. But everything is just, like I said, rough and stiff, and I'll have to get in there and lube up or possibly even polish up parts of it. So, yeah, I was kind of disappointed, and someday I may run across one of the bigger, better ones and grab that up. Meantime, like I said, I just kicked myself for I had the opportunity any number of times to get some of the originals and passed up on them at the time. But anyway, so addition to the collection, it's an example. I won't say a good example of this pattern. Uh, and I've been looking for one for a very long time, so at least I've got one in there. And as I said, if I run across a nicer one, I'll sure add that to the collection. But for right now, at least I've got an example.